Hi, Alan back again. We had a good chat about keels, so now let's have a look at different rudder types. First one up, this is a sort of rudder you might well find on the back of a long keel boat. A transom mounted rudder, very, very simple. I love these. It is just basically a plank bolted on the back of the boat. Very, very simple, very, very strong. Couple of pins, top and bottom. Big surface area for maximum maneuverability and nothing really to go wrong with it. Okay, here's another example. This is a long keel boat with a transom hung rudder. You'll notice this one's raked back at a much finer angle. And you'll notice here we've got a cutout here, which is for the propeller. And this actually means lots of protection for the prop. This is another type of rudder. This is on a long fin keel vessel. Now here's the rudder here. Now what you'll notice, this is what's called a Skeg hung rudder. This is the Skeg. Integral part of the construction of the boat, but it gives strength to the rudder. There's a shoe at the bottom here, or a pivot here, and one at the top. So this is a very strong construction and often found on mid-keel boats. So this is a good example of an older style Spade rudder. You'll see that this is now unsupported. There's nothing at the bottom here, and the shaft simply comes through here. It does make the boat a little bit more manoeuvrable, but of course it also makes this quite vulnerable because we haven't got the support at the bottom. So this needs to be a very strong point here. This is a sort of compromise. You can see this one, we've got a bit of a skeg here, though the bottom part of the rudder is unsupported, but we have got a strong point here and a strong point here. But the main thing I want to show you about this, it's what's called a balanced rudder, because the pivot point is here and this sticks out forward of that pivot point. And this makes this a more balanced, because when you put the helm over and the rudder comes over to steer the boat, the water force actually pushes on this side forward of the pivot point and it makes the helm much lighter. It's very much like power steering for boats. This is a slightly more modern version of a classic balanced Spade rudder. You can see it is Spade rudder just on the pivot point here. Balanced because we've got this section forward, which makes it much lighter to steer. But I just want to point out it's much more exposed. And unlike a long keel boat or a vessel with a skeg that really supports it, one of the problems is if this gets hit, if it gets caught with a strong rope or something, there is a high chance of bending the shaft here. So this has to be a very strong point, and there have been many cases where the rudders are bent or even damaged or broken because they're just supported from that single point here. Here's another form of rudder. This, you'll see, it's not mounted at the back of the boat, it's actually underneath. It's a simple rudder with a shaft running down through here. It's quite a strong construction because, of course, the shaft is held at the base in the keel and up through here. And on the top of this will be either a tiller or a wheel. I've just spotted this, worth mentioning. This is a lovely example of a Rustler 36. There's its main rudder. Transom hung rudder at the back, and notice this at the back. Now this is a hydrovane wind steering system. The idea is that we can steer the boat using wind power as opposed to an electronic or hydraulic system. And then we can lock the main rudder in situ, and then this steers the boat using wind power. It's a very clever system, saves power. This is our boat which we saw, which we had the lifting keel or lifting dagger boards. One of the problems is when the dagger board is up, then you can actually damage the rudder if you go into shallow water. And you see this is easy fixed by having a lifting rudder. Can you see there's a section here that's always here, but there is a lifting section here. So when she's in deep water, this can be lowered down to increase the surface area of the rudder for more effective steering. Twin rudders. Not totally sure why we've got twin rudders on this vessel. This is quite a racy machine, but very often when we're looking at boats that can take the ground, so bilge keelers or boats with lifting keels, they will often have twin rudders so they can actually sit on them once they take the ground. So that's all I'm going to talk about rudders here. They come in a whole variety of shapes and sizes. They usually match the boat they come with. So very often with a long keel boat, you'll find transom hung rudders. With modern fin keelers, they have balanced Spade rudders, but there's everything in between. If you're interested, we have another video about keels and also another one about propellers. Charlie, when the house bears about 270 degrees.
To work out our distance from the lighthouse and use that.
We might be perfectly on track, but if we're not on time...
Have a look, I've got my phone here at the effects it has on our steering compass.
So our echo sound is working, we can find a contour and follow it nicely into port.
Our left hand is pointing towards the centre of the lull.